In the latest chapter of tense relations between Hungary and the European Union, the European Commission has launched a disciplinary procedure against Hungary due to recent legislation concerning interactions between foreigners and Hungarians. This legal standoff underscores the continuing struggle over national sovereignty and EU governance principles. The crux of the dispute lies in a recently passed law by the Hungarian government, which tightens the rules around civil organizations and individuals when engaging with foreigners within the country's borders. While the Hungarian government defends the law as a necessary measure to protect its sovereignty and safeguard national security, the European Union criticizes the legislation as a potential infringement on European values, including the free movement of people and the right to freedom of association. The contentious legislation requires certain groups and individuals to report their interactions with foreigners to authorities. Critics argue this could have chilling effects on civil society, discourage international cooperation and exchange, and suppress the open dialogue that flourishes in a free democratic society. The European Commission, which is the EU's executive arm, has taken issue with these rules, viewing them as contravening the Union's legal framework and potentially violating EU treaties. The disciplinary procedure, technically referred to as an infringement process, is the method by which the European Commission addresses alleged breaches of EU law by member states. It can ultimately lead to the European Court of Justice, which has the power to levy fines against member states for non-compliance. This standoff is not purely a legal dispute, but taps into broader concerns over the direction in which Hungary has been heading under Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's leadership. Orbán's tenure has been marked by an increasingly nationalistic and authoritarian approach, attracting scrutiny and criticism from other EU member states and institutions. Issues such as judiciary independence, media freedom, and the rights of minorities and refugees have been at the forefront of these concerns. Furthermore, this disagreement reflects ongoing debates within the EU about the balance between national autonomy and EU-wide regulations and standards. It highlights the complex relationship between EU institutions and individual member state governments, particularly those that pursue policies out of step with what Brussels considers the collective European interest. The decision to initiate a disciplinary procedure is also indicative of the EU's commitment to assert its legal authority and oversee the application of its rules across all member states. The European Commission's action sends a clear signal that it is prepared to take steps to ensure compliance, even in the face of resistance from individual governments. The outcome of this legal tussle will have ramifications beyond the specific legislation in question. It is likely to set a precedent for how similar sovereignty-related disputes will be handled in the future, marking an influential moment in the evolution of the EU's relationship with its diverse patchwork of sovereign states. As the procedure unfolds, it will be closely watched by policymakers, jurists, and citizens across Europe, keen to understand the implications for the Union's cohesion and the sovereignty of its member states. The resolution of the conflict could either bridge divisions or further complicate the relationship between Hungary and the EU, potentially influencing the dynamics of European integration and cooperation.